All right, welcome everyone to the Rook community meeting for what is today, February 6th, 2024. I will share my screen if I can find the right button, and we'll get going. All right, yeah, Jared said he was out today, so I'll be the host for now. We'll start with our milestone checkups. So the 1.12 release. So we did get the 1.12.11 release out a couple of weeks ago. It just had a few fixes. I think with the exporter chart and some Multis things. So nothing too big, but just a few final fixes there. The 1.12.12 release, we have the potential for doing that if it's needed. Currently, I believe the only issues that we have for 1.12 or related to 1.12 would be CI issues, and I'll talk about that later. So I don't know that we need to have a .12 release, but depending on what comes in the future, we certainly can schedule when needed. Any questions about 1.12? Okay, then for 1.13, similarly, we also had a release a couple weeks ago, 1.13.3. And also, I think it was just a standard release, nothing too urgent to discuss. I guess increase the resource limits for the operator. A few other things, updates to CSI, the CSI provision or version. Just some, kind of standard things and fixes. Then this Zoom window is getting in the way. Okay, there we go. So if I go back to the agenda, 1.13.4, we can plan on it this Thursday. I can take out this comment now that it's pending the CI because the CI appears to be fully green now as of just an hour or two ago. Yeah, we're still just on the biweekly cadence for 1.13 releases. And other than the CI that was just fixed the last couple of days, I think no blocking issues that we need to discuss. Just double check the project board. But yeah, nothing in the blocking and release column since we got the CI fixed. And yeah, just a few other things in progress that would be nice to have. Okay, any questions on 1.13? We'll move on then. So 1.14 just added this to, or created a project board now. For the first time, it's still just empty, but we can start adding issues in there that we want to plan on for the 1.14 release. The timeline I'm thinking that would give us 4 months since the previous release in December. That would be early April. So we're about 2 months away potentially from that release. If anybody has input on that date or features needed, I was just remembering I need to update the roadmap as well for what features we're planning in that next release. So actually, I'm going to add an action item for that. Update the roadmap for the 1.14 features. So I'll open up PR hopefully in the next couple of days for that. Okay, is there a comment?
No, I just coughed, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, if you have any input, feel free to comment on the PR when that's opened as well. Okay, and then the kubectl plugin, planning on doing a release for v0.8 at some point. I don't think Subham is here. We were going to think about when it makes sense to do the next release. I can't remember though offhand if we have new features that we needed to get into a release soon or if there's something still in progress. So I know there's been some fixes. I just want to discuss with Subham when it makes sense to get the next release out for that plugin. So we'll see. Let's put to be decided. Okay. Any questions around release schedules or fixes needed or anything like that? All right. So we'll move on to the community topics. We have a few notes here. I just wanted to bring up the CI issues for awareness. Fortunately, well, I mean, what happened was on Friday, we started seeing all integration tests failing across all of our branches due to some changes in the GitHub actions and basically the disk that we use for OSDs changed sizes and broke some assumptions that we have about how we use that disk and detect that disk. So thanks to multiple fixes, so thanks Blaine and also Subham and Santosh, we got all those issues fixed. So now we're not dependent on the size of that device that we're using for OSDs, and a couple other fixes. So hopefully we'll be more stable going forward when that disk will surely change size again. But we are using it, I think, in an unconventional way. So I'm sure GitHub doesn't realize they're breaking us, or it's probably not something that they're worried about anyway, since we're using it unconventionally. Anyway, good to be green again. Always a good feeling to have green CI. Yeah, here's the link to the issue that kind of tracks all of the issues that we're looking at. And fundamentally, I think it was all pretty much the same issue, but yeah, I just needed multiple fixes. I think now we're also using the kernel driver for CFFS instead of the Fuse driver in the tests as well, since they updated the kernel version. I don't know, Blaine, any other comments on all the CI issues?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yep, I think since we're green, we're happy to move forward. All right, then the next topic is KubeCon. So a few things going on. Just yesterday, I got the email that we had the Project Pavilion kiosk accepted. So we will have morning hours. I won't be at KubeCon, but so I guess, Blaine, I need to share those hours with you and the crew that will be there. So you can plan on that. It's just the standard booth that we always get.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the Rook Maintainers talk, I know is in planning. Blaine, how's that going?
I mean, I think we got an early start on it, which is good. I think the talk is scheduled for Wednesday at some point. I forget what time in the day.
I think I saw 11 a.m. So it's first thing after the keynotes, which is always a nice time when people are fresh and not tired of all the talks.
Yeah, excited.
Great. Okay. There was a keynote video, so I did create that and submit that. That's the 60-second video that basically is a really quick lightning talk and project status that they'll show on the in the keynote room. And hopefully that's Tuesday or Wednesday morning before our talk, because I tried to mention, okay, come to our talk, come to our booth, and hopefully get some interest there. But yesterday I also got the email from them that the lightning talk was not accepted, and I'm really curious who they're accepting for these lightning talks. This is the first time I think they had that option, but if they don't even accept all the lightning talks, I wonder how they decide who gets those. It's also a day 0 thing, so I feel like it's not a huge deal not to have it, but you know, it would have given somebody else an opportunity. We were hoping Subham could do that, but anyway, didn't work out. Any other thoughts around KubeCon planning or things to think about? It's still, what, 6 weeks away? Okay.
Just a question here. When you're saying those lightning talks are day zero thing, are you saying that they're doing this for the first time this year?
That's right. This KubeCon is the first time they have those lightning talks on day zero.
And what's
for
the criteria?
CNCF
Is it
projects.
like really lightning, i.e. like 5 minutes max or something like that?
Yeah, they said 5 or 10 minutes, I think. And it's an option for CNCF projects. I don't know if they had the option for all of the incubating and graduated or exactly, but for CNCF projects, it was an option.
Okay. Interesting. Still curious why you got rejected then.
Right, exactly. So yeah, they didn't really provide more context, just that the email said, well, we had lots of interest and too many submitted, and so they just had to limit how many. Maybe it was randomly, maybe they didn't say. I think I'll respond to that email and just ask for future reference how they decided on that. At the same time, it also sounds like they did not offer a free KubeCon speaker ticket with that, so it wouldn't have helped from that regard. But still nice to have more Rook exposure on the stage if we can get that next time. Okay, well that brings me to the end of today's agenda. I didn't have any designs of interest that I put in. Does anybody else have any topics or designs that you'd like to talk about?
This is Richard Allen. I just got a quick question. What's driving the 14?
The 1.14 release?
I mean, other than its time.
I'd say that's the main thing, is it's time. The kind of 4 or 5 months has been the cadence for that. And
I'm just wondering if the cadence shouldn't stretch out a bit. I mean, not that it's a problem per se. Wondering.
right,
Oh.
yeah, that's a fair question.
One of the things that I'm looking forward to getting in there are some improvements to Multis and CSI and how those work together to kind of alleviate some like ongoing maintenance burden there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Yeah, Multis is tricky for sure.
that includes removing the holder pod and all of that. Which
Yeah,
yeah,
I think the meeting notes from January 9th might mention that.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I missed that one.
right, and well, we're probably not even averaging 4 months. It's probably more like a 5-month average these days. But it does feel like after about that long, there's always some changes that it just makes sense not to put in a patch release. But it's just time to cut the new minor release. But I think your motivation for asking is just that it's every upgrade is painful, and so can we limit them? Is that your motivation? Right? Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the Rook project is more easy to upgrade than most. So, I mean, that's good.
That's good news. Okay. And we try to also avoid breaking changes as much as possible with those upgrades. So hopefully they're usually pretty smooth.
Yeah,
But that's definitely the goal.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other topics? Okay. Well, I guess that's all. Thanks, everyone, and we'll call it a meeting. Thanks.
Thanks.
Have a good day.